What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel, and we are back. It is Thursday. It is September 20th, and you know, we got a lot of stuff going on today. There are some different dates that we've gotten. Some different information is going on in the background. Interesting things to get into. We've got a lot of trailers, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm calling this Trailer Thursday, basically, because there's a number of new trailers, release dates, stuff like that. So we're definitely going to get into that a little bit today. Now, an update. I did not play Transference yesterday. I only played one single VR game yesterday. I also did a little bit of a Maze 3D, actually, but it was kind of like a choose your own adventure game. And I played the PlayStation VR game. I played Honor and Duty, the D-Day beta. I played it yesterday, and I played it the right way with an aim controller. Completely different. Night and day. Absolutely night and day different opinion. Unfortunately, didn't get to any of the other games I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to Transference, but I had other stuff going on. Didn't get to it. So I will probably have additional Transference thoughts tomorrow. So just want to let you know. Yeah, and Kev Gretz says, yes, aim is the only way to go. And when we are talking about Honor and Duty, absolutely. So why don't we just go right into that? But before we do that, let's go ahead and start off with our trailer. Let's do an early trailer today. We typically do our intro trailer extremely late. Let's do an early trailer. And yes, this is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. This, of course, is the daily vlog live. It is episode 207. It is Thursday, September 20th. It's actually my birthday. It is my birthday. September 20th is my birthday. So I'm doing a show for you on my birthday. I actually had a dentist appointment earlier today, and my dentist was like, hey, isn't this your birthday? Why would you have a dentist appointment on your birthday? But I was like, I don't care. I don't really, normally I don't even think about my birthday too much, but today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday to me. Somebody buy me a 2080 Ti. That's what was so funny when I saw the announcement of all those new NVIDIA cards. All the new NVIDIA cards, it said September 20th. And I was thinking, oh my God, that's my birthday. I think if your birthday is the same day as the release of an NVIDIA card, by law, you should be sent one absolutely free, as long as you can prove you're a gamer and prove that you were born that day. I mean, shouldn't that be a law? Of course, the NVIDIA cards did get delayed. Chris Cox says, you don't look a day over 72. Yeah, 72 years young, ladies and gentlemen. 72 years young, absolutely. So anyway, what I did want to get into, though, is let's get into Honor and Duty, because I did screw around with this a little bit yesterday. Let me see if I can find a video that I had on it. And, oh, man, you know what? I think I freaking deleted that video. But wait, let me just double check. I don't have one in another spot, too. I didn't think I was going to bring it up again. I don't know why. Oh, I do have a little Honor and Duty video that I could throw on here. Okay, I will have to resize things. This does kind of suck. But yeah, this was the Polish Paul video that we talked about yesterday. So, or a couple of days ago, we were talking about this Polish Paul. And so I tried this yesterday. This is the one VR game I did play. And the first day that I had played this, I used 2 Move controllers. And that was the wrong decision, because I found the control to be awful, absolutely awful, with 2 Move controllers. Now I figured out, okay, it's all about the aim. And then so I used the aim, and I went into the actual multiplayer mode, and I was able to get into the multiplayer mode, even though I don't have PlayStation Network, you know, PlayStation Plus. I don't have PlayStation Plus, but somehow it let me in. It offered me like a 2-day free trial, which I think I already used that 2-day free trial a long time ago. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I didn't, and that's why I got in. But anyway, I got into multiplayer, and I was playing this game, and I was using my aim controller, and I was talking to the other people that were playing. There was probably like 4 or 5 people that were all playing this game, and looks very much like this, and this is what we were doing. We were running around trying to shoot other people, trying to hide and do all those kinds of things. And I was talking about it, and I was saying, you know what? I feel like I'm moving in molasses. Like, this is so slow. It is painfully slow, the movement. And the guy was like, dude, you got to go into the options, turn your movement speed all the way to maximum. So I got into the options, turn the movement speed to maximum, and it's like a completely different day. It is like a night and day difference when you have maximum speed. Because if you just get into this honor and duty game and you don't know anything about it, when it first puts you in the game, it actually gives you these blinders where you're looking through a tiny hole. Like, the whole entire screen is black. It's got a little circle where it's showing you the game. It is the most aggressive blinders I've ever seen. And then it says that if you turn off these blinders, you might have motion sickness. And if you increase the speed, you might have motion sickness. Well, I turned off the blinders. I put the speed on max, and everything worked out well. And I was able to play the game fine. I was playing with my my aim controller. I was playing, you know, with the aim gun, controlling my guy, playing multiplayer, dying, living. The one thing that I did notice about this game, you have very, very limited ammo. There is hardly any ammo. And so you don't want to get into this game and just start shooting everywhere, because your ammo will be gone and you will be absolutely screwed, and you'll run out of ammo real quick. I was dying all the time. I'm not very good at these multiplayer games, but graphically, it reminds me of Minecraft. It reminds me of Just in Time Incorporated, which is already kind of cribbing off of Minecraft, right? And it kind of has this very simplistic graphical style, but it's very onward, you know, it's like a little Call of Duty kind of game, and there's a lot of people playing, and it's completely free right now. I don't know when we're going to have to pay money for this, but basically what I'm saying, bottom line, if you have a PlayStation VR, you should probably try this out. Try this out for a little while. And everybody is saying happy birthday. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thanks so much for my birthday. I mean, not thanks for my birthday. I don't really care that much about my birthday, but thank you for all the well wishes. Absolutely. Tesram says, a VR game in 59 frames per second? For real? What's going on here? Are you talking about the frames of this game? Have you tried it? I didn't notice anything weird about it as far as the frames per second. It was working perfectly fine. But that might be something else. Kev Gret says, yes, you need more than one clip of ammo. Maybe I don't understand how the ammo works. I had a machine gun, and I think it's the green chest. If you go over a little green chest of ammo, it reloads the machine gun. You also have a knife, but it's very weird using a knife when you're holding the aim controller and you have two hands. You want to have that machine gun. You want to have that machine gun feel. So I was mostly trying to stick with the machine gun. But I'm definitely going to play some more of this. It is pretty cool, and it's an interesting diversion from Firewall 0 Hour, because Firewall 0 Hour, a lot of people are crying and moaning about waiting and waiting and waiting to get into a game, that you spend more time in the lobby than you ever spend in the game. And this game, it's like, bam, you're right in it, and there's a lot of activity, and everybody was really cool. There were some young kids. There were definitely some little kids. The little kid factor is very strong with this, so beware of that. Okay, but anyway, Kev Gret says, Firewall is about to die if they don't patch that game soon. Yeah, I do know that in the PSVR subreddit, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, are you going to patch this game? What the hell is going on? Okay, so like I said, today is Thursday. It is trailer day. I don't know why, but there are a ton of trailers, and you know what? This one, of course, I got to resize this. That honor and duty thing is screwed up. But guess what, folks? Accounting is coming to all the platforms.
Hurry. It's coming out soon to HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and PSVR. Knock, knock. Who's there? More levels on all the systems. Also, Switch version. Come on, Reggie. Yeah, give us the money. I'm Money Guy. Accounting Plus. It's coming out soon to HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and PSVR.
All right, there it is. So Accounting Plus.
Please, you gotta buy it.
Turn this down a little bit. So Accounting Plus is coming to the HTC Vive and to the Oculus Rift. It was already available on PlayStation VR, but I guess what they're going to do here is they're adding some additional things even to the PSVR version. Do we have a price for this? Do we have a date for this? I don't know. All I've seen was I heard about that there was this trailer. So I didn't see a price or a date. Let me see.
Also, Switch version. Come on, Reggie. Yeah, give us the money. Money
Nintendo Switch, yeah. Their trailers are kind of crazy.
We're a home wreck in this game. We're the home wrecker game. It's Accounting Plus. It's coming out soon to HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and PSVR.
Yeah, so not a lot of information there, but Accounting Plus will be making its way to the HTC Vive and to the Oculus Rift. And I guess the question really for Vive and Rift players, we've already played regular accounting. You know, we've played regular accounting. And right here, Test Room says, so Accounting VR goes from basically 13 minutes to 3 times bigger, which equals 39 minutes. Very well. And so, yeah, that's the question. What kind of a price are we going to look at for this? I'm guessing, like, I would guess probably like $14.99 or something. I'm going to guess $14.99. That's just my guess. I don't know if that's actually true, but maybe $9.99. Victor Burgos in the house from Monochrome Inc., right? Yeah, Contagion VR Outbreak. Thanks, Victor, so much. He did hook me up with a code for Contagion VR Outbreak. I did play that. I was telling everybody, Victor, that I was playing basically the single player portion of that game. And I was in those hallways, and I think I killed basically most of the zombies and stuff. And I want to get outside, man. I want to get outside where the cars are on the street, but in the single player game. I want to see those freaking, I want to see the neighborhood and the car alarms going off and the zombies and nighttime and like rats running around. I think that would be super cool. I didn't get to that part. I don't know if I basically explored all of the single player content that is available in Contagion VR Outbreak. I went upstairs, I went downstairs, it was blocked. And what is cool though, you know, one thing I like, to get out of the apartment, you have to go to the bottom. So in the single player version of it, you can actually get outside, because I never got outside. I was in the garage at the beginning of the game. See, if you guys play the single player portion of Contagion VR Outbreak compared to the demo, there's other stuff that you're going to see. You're going to see stuff before the game starts. Okay, you need to use the axe. Yes, I did use the axe to get through a couple of different doors, and I did get around. But you know what? I'm liking it. I'm liking what I've played. It's $20, and I know there's going to be additional content coming, but I like what I've played of it already. The one thing I do like, Victor, what you guys have done is those like television commercials that are on the television talking about the zombie outbreak and what you need to do to survive. I thought that was really cool. And I really love the rain in the very beginning of the game. I was telling people, I don't know, was this yesterday or the day before? I was talking about the rain, because when you start the demo off, it's like raining really hard outside, and you're in that garage. You can hear the rain outside, and then you get over by the windows. You can hear the rain by the windows. And I was just telling people how I like the rain in VR, and I want to go outside into the rain and see the zombies and see all the cars and the car alarms and the rats running around and all of that. So yeah, definitely cool. That is Contagion VR Outbreak. But yeah, this accounting, we're kind of talking about the price, like what would be appropriate here. And I personally believe like $7.99 would probably be appropriate. But this is Squanch Games. They've got such a built-in fan base for Squanch Games that I think they're going to price this probably at 15 bucks, and they're going to get away with it, you know, because it'll eventually go on sale as well. So I think it's probably going to be about 15 bucks is my guess on that. Tezram said, Contagion is one of very few games I have bought. Look forward to playing it, but for now I am using my patience to let the game get new content so that I can enjoy a good first time play. My question, Tezram, have you tried, though, just the single player portion of it? Because it's relatively short, I think, but I still like what they've done there, because Contagion for me is like you're experiencing the beginning of a zombie movie before it starts. There's so many zombie games in VR. The whole zombie thing is so played out, but as played out as it is, this is well, the demo is very similar. I mean, the demo is basically the same thing as what you're getting in the single player version, but you get to see a little bit before the demo starts, and then you get to see a little bit farther, I believe. But I have to play it some more. I have to get into it some more. But yeah, Victor Burgos checking in. Dude is always streaming of him doing working and streaming. So much love to Victor there. But yeah, accounting is coming to the HTC Vive, coming to the Oculus Rift very soon. We don't have a price or a date as far as I'm aware. But if anybody has other information, go ahead and pop that into chat. Okay, we have more trailers. We have a release date. Let's check this out. This is Arca's Path VR. We did get official release date for this, so let's go ahead and check this one out. Kind of like Marble Madness.
Arca's Path is a ball rolling game in VR in which you navigate levels and a lot of different challenges using your gaze to direct the ball around the environment.
The team have worked together to build this really simple, accessible game mechanic.
You play it simply using your head to control the ball as it moves through a variety of environments.
What's really unique about Arca's Path is that we've taken what would typically be quite an abstract game, but we've really tried to give it a lot of life and a lot of character.
The world crumbles around you, it becomes more broken, it becomes more glitched, and because of that, the world becomes more difficult as well.
We wanted to make something that was just really engaging, but that everybody could play.
All right, so that is December 4th. So that has locked in with a December 4th release date. This is Arca's Path. I believe Rebellion is publishing the game. Rebellion, but they're not actually the developer of the game. This is Arca's Path coming on December 4th. Now, the question we get to this, though, is do you guys like games that are locked to your head? Because I usually don't. Like, I usually don't like a game that is, like, I don't like head look games. And I know that it kind of makes sense with this game because you're controlling this ball, and so you're going to look wherever the ball goes, and so head look kind of makes sense for this, but I still don't like head look. Simon Jones says, looks more suited to a mobile VR game. Yeah, I mean, this looks like an Oculus Go game. Like, this looks like this would be really... Dream Reality Interactive, by the way, is the developer. Dream Reality Interactive is the developer. But this looks more suited to an Oculus Go with the headlock type of deal. I don't know if the ball, like, can you hit a button? Does the ball jump up? Do you have a little bit of jump, or is it all physics based? The one thing I will say, though, is we're looking at these visuals here, right? And the visuals don't look that impressive, but I have a feeling that when you're in VR, I think these visuals are going to look good. And you can see what they're saying about this game, they're basically saying this is the chill game. If you want to relax, if you want to chill, you know, if you just want to take 20 minutes out and just kind of relax and roll this ball around these incredibly colorful, surreal worlds, probably some really cool background music is going on. Arca's Path VR coming on the 4th of December, Dream Reality Interactive, and then of course Rebellion is the publisher. But what's going to be the price for this? We don't know that. And December 4th, you know, it's really going to depend on how other games are shaking out. Looks kind of cool. Hopefully it'll hit the Go as well. Let's see what people are talking about in chat. Chris Gold says, I don't feel the excitement over this one. And then Chris Cox says, no, I don't. He's talking about where it's head-oriented locomotion. He prefers to use the hand for direction, or even if you just had a thumbstick, like if you were controlling the ball with the thumbstick and your head was basically the camera. I don't know. I have to get into the game and play it. Victor Burgos says, balls are nice to play with, so I heard. Not yourself, though. Not your own balls. You want to play with others. Well, no, I don't even want to go down that road. But yeah, Marble Madness. You know, Marble Madness is what springs to mind, obviously, when you look at it. I still want to give this game the benefit of the doubt. Might be kind of cool. I hope the price is not up there. I hope they kind of keep the price chill. But it's hard. Everybody wants their money out of these things, you know. But I think it could be chill, relaxing, nice, enjoyable. Chris says, as long as it is a seated game without locomotion, I don't mind head tracking. Yeah. The thing about head tracking, though, is after a while, your neck is like, dude. Your neck is like, dude, give me a break, man. I don't want to play the game with my neck. Okay, so I know we've got some other trailers. Espire 1. This is in the news as well. Let's check this one out. Tripwire Interactive is apparently going to publish this.
Welcome, Agent. From this point on, you are Espire 1 VR Operative. Deploy this cutting-edge espionage unit on assignments around the globe. How you approach each mission is up to you. Just be sure to complete your objectives and make the most of Espire 1's abilities. From within the Espire control theater, you will precisely control Espire's every action for the first time in VR. Agents experience full freedom of movement without motion sickness. Together, we will redefine espionage.
Coming in 2019. So basically this Espire 1, this is a game, I've been following this game for a long time. And I'm looking at the Steam page over here, and the developer is Digital Load. But I can tell you, if you go to VR Game Rankings, the developer isn't Digital Load. It was like Espire 1 Entertainment LLC or something like that. And so they obviously changed their name, I'm guessing, to Digital Load. Tripwire Interactive has picked this up in terms of the publishing duties. So they obviously see something here, and it does look like this game has really improved. It is trying to go for that stealth idea, which we did get some of that with budget cuts, but this is much more military Sam Fisher, like, you know, Metal Gear Solid. They're kind of trying to give you that feel for it.
Aspires every action for the first time in VR. Agents experience full freedom of movement without motion sickness.
Yeah, I don't know about like having this announcer talk this entire time during this little trailer.
Together, we will redefine espionage.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Looks pretty cool. It looks like it has improved in leaps and bounds over the stuff that I saw a long time ago. But now this is a 2019 game. I think we were expecting this game to come out around November or something like that. So this is obviously being pushed back a bit. But it definitely looks better. It looks improved. Tripwire would not be getting involved with this if they didn't think it was really good. So this is probably going to be a pretty good VR stealth game to keep our eyes on. Absolutely. GLaDOS, yeah, I don't know. Victor Burgos says, I feel that it's better to hide the hands once you grab items. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. It can be distracting if they're not like lining up correctly. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like a decent stealth game. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. That's coming early in 2019. Let's see, I think I've got a few additional trailers. So we've got a new PlayStation VR announcement. It is called Neverout. Don't know anything about this. Haven't seen a lick of this. Let's take a look at this one. Is this trailer making you guys dizzy? Makes me a little bit dizzy. It looks like you're basically just walking around trying to figure out how to get out of places. Neverout. All right, well, that is Neverout. Now, that is a PlayStation 4 game as well. So it is for flat games, but it is also for VR, for PSVR. This is coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. Neverout. Never heard of this. Just heard about it today. Looks like a puzzler. Doesn't look like a super high budget game, but, you know, another one to keep our eyes on. And certainly if you're looking for Portal-esque style gameplay going through puzzles, this is probably going to give you some of that kind of a feeling. Of course, PlayStation VR never did get Portal Stories VR, so that's kind of what this is. It seems like you're kind of just walking around trying to figure out how to get out of these different areas. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. All right, and let's see, I've got a couple more trailers too. We might as well just keep them going. This is one that is a prototype that is very far away. Lambo Mang. MegaPunchyGolf. So this is like just a little demo tease that this guy has on the Vive subreddit. I saw people talking about this, and it is called MegaPunchyGolf. And you basically get up close to these golf balls, and then you get like in a first-person perspective, and I think you just punch the balls, basically, is what it's all about, right? So this guy is just kind of prototyping this and then seeing if people are interested in it, see if people like it. So looks kind of cool. Of course, it's definitely going to depend on the playability there. Hussein X says Neverout is already available on the Oculus Go. I see. And it's on Steam as well. Okay, let me look up Neverout. I haven't heard of that one. Neverout. Oh, okay, yeah, Neverout is on Steam. It is $7.50, so pretty cheap there on Steam. It says it's compatible with the HTC Vive. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at here. So yeah, this is Neverout. It came out actually way back on May 18th of 2017. And these are, these are the graphics that we're seeing. So this game is basically a port to PlayStation VR. It is $7.50. And, Neverout succeeds in every area, blah, blah, blah. It says HTC Vive required. I'm guessing if you had an Oculus Rift, you could probably get this to work, but who knows? So that will be making its way over to the PlayStation. And, whoops, we had some other browsers. So yeah, there is some other news I saw on some of these websites. We can check out Road to VR real quick here. Walmart is launching a nationwide VR training program, and they picked up 17,000 Oculus headsets, probably Oculus Go's, I'm guessing. They're showing a picture of a lady with the Oculus Go on. So, you know, a lot of this training stuff, I'm glad that a lot of these companies are doing VR training. I remember reading another story where there was an airlines, I forget what airlines it was, not sure if it was like American Airlines, but an airlines was using HTC Vives for training. And a lot of different companies are trying to integrate VR into their training programs. And some of it makes sense. Some of it, I think they're just doing it to just kind of be cool. Like, I think we're a little, like, we're not really there yet for everybody to use VR for training. I'm glad they're trying to do it, though. You know, I'm not going to hate on them if they're going to try to do it. And then, of course, Arca's Path. We did hear about this December 4th. It will be arriving. Creed is adding the PvP multiplayer. We heard about that already. Haptic Suit Company, Hardlight VR, closes due to lack of funding. Okay, so we always have these good, happy stories about good things that are happening in VR, exciting things that could come to the forefront. Here's one of the downers. Hardlight VR, Seattle-based company that had a successful Kickstarter campaign, but they have closed out. So it didn't work for them. It just wasn't sustainable, according to the CEO. So that is an unfortunate thing. This does happen. Good things and bad things tend to happen. And so that's kind of what's going on over at Road to VR. So let me go ahead and head back over to chat. Let's see what people are talking about here. Prince Alexander says, hopefully one of the 3 Valve games gets announced soon. And he's probably thinking of that because I mentioned Portal in regards to Neverout. And I don't think we're going to get any information about any of those Valve games until those controllers are ready to roll. So I think we probably have 4 or 5 months maybe left until that actually happens. Paradise Decay says, Anthony, a friend of mine is an officer in the UK Army, and he said they use Oculus Rifts now for training soldiers. Now, the Army, I can see that working. And there are certain industries where I can really see VR working, where you have to do a certain kind of a task over and over and over again. And if they can put that into first person, where you're doing it, you're grabbing the levers, you're, you know, changing your gun magazine or whatever it is, something that you have to do over and over and over again, I can see that relating well to VR. But what I'm talking about is there's a lot of different companies that are trying to integrate VR, and I think a lot of times they're just doing it for the technical gee whiz factor, which is fine, it's good. I mean, anything that gets VR out there is a good thing, so I don't have a problem with that. Tesrim says, I hope Knuckles releases with those 3 Valve games. Well, it's definitely going to release with at least one of them, and it's possible. I wonder if Valve would get into a situation where they have a bundle where you're buying those physical controllers from Valve and you're also buying one of the games and they send you the controllers. Prince Alexander says a Knuckles plus 3 free games package. Has Valve ever done anything like this? Has Valve ever done something like that with hardware where they also added some of their own games to it? I mean, it's like that's something that we think about with like Nintendo or Sony or a normal platform holder. I don't know that Valve is thinking in those kinds of lines. Andy Sky says, Portal 2 works amazing with VorpX. I've heard a lot of good things have VorpX. Victor Burgos is saying Contagion will have Knuckles support as soon as he gets his. And Andy Sky says Left 4 Dead 2 works really good as well. Yeah, I haven't tried VorpX. I've heard good things about VorpX, and I could see how it could work. Because I remember when, I forget which Grand Theft Auto it was, but which was the Grand Theft Auto that had a first-person mode? It added a first-person mode. And I remember, see how I have this gigantic screen over there for my projector? I had a 128-inch screen in this room. And I was playing Grand Theft Auto. This is pancake gaming, but I was playing it in first-person mode, and I had my controller. And what I did, yeah, GTA 5. It was GTA 5 I think when it first came out, I had it on like my PS4 or maybe an Xbox One. I forget what it was. And I had it on this screen, and I had it in first person mode, giant thing. And I had it situated where I was like right outside a convenience store, and people are walking around in the GTA world, and they were basically life-size humans. And so what I did was I walked over to where the screen was, and I'm holding the controller, and I was basically playing it like right in front of my screen. And I kind of felt like I'm in GTA, man. It almost felt like I was in GTA because I was playing in front of this gigantic screen. This is before I ever got a Vive. This is before I ever got a Vive and ever thought about VR. But ever since doing that, I've always wanted a Grand Theft Auto in VR. But yeah, so what I'm saying here is VorpX is kind of like that, but better, right? Like it would give you that same kind of vibe, but a little bit better. So I probably should try it. VorpX is good for 3D flat, not so good for full VR. So yeah, I've never actually tried VorpX. I've just never gone through the process of like downloading it, installing it. You have to pay for it, right, too? You have to pay for it. Just haven't jumped through all the hoops. I figure I've got enough games in regular VR, but I understand there are tinkerers out there. There are those of you that like to tinker, and so you're going to screw around with VorpX. You're going to screw around with the Dolphin emulator. You're going to screw around with all these interesting things, and you're going to have some really cool experiences. And then there's going to be people that are more like me that are just going to be like, you know what? I just want to go into the Oculus home and play a game, or go onto Steam and play a game, or go into my PlayStation VR and play a game. And I don't really feel like adding all these mods to this folder and that folder and going into all the settings. You know, so it's good and bad. It's both sides of the coin there. Let's see. I believe I have a couple other trailers actually, or at least one more trailer to do. Yeah, there's a game called Subject 264. I believe this is really, really indie, like very indie. But I'm going to throw this on. Let's check it out. Let's see what this is all about. Did they really have to show that little baby at the end there? Yeah, that is definitely a horror game. This is absolutely a horror game. Subject 264. And you can tell by looking at this trailer that it's definitely indie. You know, this is kind of a rough indie game. You can just tell by the titles of the trailer and stuff that they basically made their own trailer here, which is perfectly fine. But you know what? As I'm watching this, I'm thinking about Oregon Quarter, and Oregon Quarter is freaking awesome. Oregon Quarter is badass, in my opinion. I feel like Oregon Quarter is a really, really, really good horror game that really immerses you in this oppressive, just downer of a world, just a very depressing environment, a bleak environment. And I feel like Oregon Quarter really makes you feel like that. And I kind of get a little bit of Oregon Quarter from this trailer. So Subject 264, it definitely indie, definitely probably not extremely polished, but I still think it looks pretty cool here. So, you know, we got to keep our eyes on this. Now, you can see some teleportation there, but in the options, you might be able to possibly turn on free locomotion. We got to hope. And then did they really need to show the little baby in the fridge? Because that is kind of harsh right there. But this is coming from Virtual Guys. Virtual Guys. Now, come on. Could have maybe had a better name than Virtual Guys. I mean, there's Disruptive Penguin. They could have been Disruptive Penguin. Instead, they decided to be Virtual Guys. So I'm going to look up Subject 264 real quick on Steam. I just want to see if I can get a little bit more information on this. But yeah, it looks like an indie-ass indie game, but you know what? I'm a fan of indie-ass indie games. And this comes out next Tuesday, too. This comes out next Tuesday. So let me bounce over here. This is the Steam page for it. You can see right here. Look at Subject 264 Virtual Guys. This is a very generic logo, guys. Come on. Pay somebody $5 to make a better logo than that. But Virtual Guys, this is the developer, September 25th. So we're talking next Tuesday. I guess this was a Kickstarter game. This is, people backed this on a Kickstarter. I mean, the one thing I will say here, it does give me an Organ Quarter kind of a vibe. And if it's half as good as Organ Quarter, look at these interiors. These interiors look kind of cool. Like, I think these interiors look pretty good. If it looks anything like, although this room, I mean, how empty can your room be? You know, you got a few paintings on the wall. This is a great VR room, right? It's nice and empty so we can play. Oh, here's another nice empty room for VR. More empty rooms. And there's a very empty room as well. This looks kind of bizarre. But yeah, that is Subject 264. I think it looks kind of cool. I'm certainly slightly interested in it. Hopefully it keeps its price low. Now, again, you want to talk about timing. That is bad timing. September 25th. Victor Burgos, you can speak to this. My question, Victor, is, dude, how harsh is it out there in this VR gaming world with so many games being out there? You guys are at $19.99, which is a pretty good price. You guys did get some publicity. People know about Contagion VR Outbreak, but still, how brutal is this market? Because so many games are constantly coming out. Everybody is battling everybody, and everybody is trying to survive, but not everybody can survive. It's a relatively small market. I'm curious how you guys are doing over there at Monochrome Inc. in terms of Contagion VR Outbreak. Do you feel like it's probably going to be a successful thing for you? Is it still up in the air? You know, maybe when you get the PlayStation VR version, because you got 3 million PlayStation VR gamers that are out there, so you got a lot of people to sell to. Victor Burgos says, if you don't have enough marketing hype, it's almost stupid. So he's speaking to this. It is a difficult market. It's a difficult market. They've sold over 6,000 copies of that game so far, which I think that's actually kind of decent. I mean, I don't know if you guys have covered your budget and all of that, but 6,000 is better. We've heard some serious horror stories where certain games are like less than 1,000, and you're really hurting at less than 1,000 units. You're not covering you're not covering it. Victor says, not bad for indies, but still not great. But yeah, it's not over. You can still sell more. And then, of course, whenever there's the Steam sales, of course, your price is going to drop down, but you'll get a boost of sales there as well. And then I guess you guys have to put some of your faith into that PSVR version, because if your PSVR version can blow up, then that's where you can kind of make your money back. Victor Burgos is saying a lot of his dev buddies tell me they barely get over 5,000 in a year plus after release. And so that is an example there. Steam sales and updates will get us quite a bit of sales. Yeah, the updates too, coming out of officially coming out of early access is kind of grand opening part 2. You know, you come out of early access, everybody kind of hypes that up again. When it hits PSVR, it's going to get hyped up again. But it's a difficult market. And these games like Subject 264, we've seen it. We cover these small games. We watch these small games. It is difficult. It's hard. But, you know, you got to go for your dream, right? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's see here. pretty much think I ran through the trailers that I had. I'm going to throw on a trailer. This is called the Chantry, which I believe this is available in the UK for PlayStation VR, and I believe it's some type of like educational thing. So I don't know what this is about, but I'll throw this on real quick in the background. I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to get onto the subreddits and see if there's any other news that has just popped up recently here. And then we can check back on chat as well. Okay, so just getting this stuff ready. So going back to chat, let's see what people are talking about here. Paradise Decay says, at Victor Burgos, games hearing that I Expect You to Die made 3 million must give you some hope. And Chris says, there is too much shitty VR games coming out, so the great games get buried and missed by a lot of people. Victor Burgos says that's a big company, talking about Shell Games, I believe, with I Expect You to Die. Lots of marketing. And I Expect You to Die is on all the VR platforms, and it goes on sale over and over and over and over again. How many times have you guys seen I Expect You to Die go on sale for $7.50 or $7.99 or whatever it is? Always going on sale. Expect You to Die, always going on sale, and on every platform. Being everywhere is a big thing as well. And I Am Rut says, I bought Contagion day one and returned it within an hour because of the jank factor, but if it gets enough good reviews and is better, I would give it another shot. Well, I don't know about the jank factor. I know that I'm running a 970 graphics card, which is like the lowest of the low, and I was able to play through the entire single player, well, almost all the entire single player portion of Contagion. And while it may be very short, is it that much shorter than Transference, like the length of Transference? Everybody's talking about the length of Transference. And so I think it's still pretty good, obviously. But, you know, I'm kind of saying this because Victor Burgos is in chat. If he wasn't in chat, I'd be like, Contagion sucks, man. No, I wouldn't be like that. But Lethal Weasel VR says, I'm excited for Contagion. I'm just waiting for it to be finished before I buy it. Well, there's not much more than what's on the demo if you're just interested in the single-player version. So, actually, Victor Burgos, one thing we can ask you about is, what are your thoughts on having that demo out there? Like, do you think the demo, does the demo hurt you guys or help you guys? I know the demo got you guys more noticed, but then people can make the argument, they can say, look, if all I care about is single player, there's only like, there's very little that's beyond what, you know, there's very little beyond the demo. So what's the deal? Like, how does the demo help you or hurt you? Paradise Decay says, at Victor Burgos, games, I love the demo, and I had to admit I never tried it after launch due to what people were saying, but with this new update, I'm looking to try again. He's saying the single player mission right now is actually 4 times the demo. Okay, so I need to get back in there and figure out where I was going wrong and where I'm stuck, because there must be a lot more to that. But I've already enjoyed what I've already experienced, and I know, you know, they're adding more, so I don't think it's a terrible value at 20 bucks. Victor Burgos Games says, at VR Game Rankings, it's actually 4 times levels in the single-player campaign versus the demo, plus you have the free roaming, plus tutorial now. Okay, yeah, I should probably try the tutorial and the free roaming, and you know, I should try all the aspects of it. See, Victor, I gotta be honest with you. I just got that key from you just recently, but I got the key at the same time that I'm playing Windlands 2, I'm playing Transference, I'm playing Torn, I'm playing Blind, I'm playing all these different games are hammering me. So, I mean, that's the problem too, Victor, is like, you want you want Contagion VR Outbreak to get some publicity and get some hype and get people buying it, but there's so many new games constantly coming out. It is all about attention. That's why marketing muscle is huge. Marketing, hype, having influencers that really dig your game and go to bat for you. All of these things are incredibly powerful in terms of all of that, I'm sure. Yeah, so this is an experience that I believe is available on PlayStation VR. It is called the Chantry. I don't believe it's available in any other market, though, besides Europe. This is available in Europe. It has been developed by Steel Minions. And I believe this is some type of educational thing. Let's listen to this just for a second and see what they're talking about here.
Lord Dalkeith has been dead of the smallpox for just 3 days. It is so dreadful in his family. His eldest boy died of it last year, and his only brother, who was ill but 2 days, putrefied so fast that his limbs fell off as they lifted him into the coffin.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Looks like some type of educational kind of thing. I mean, certainly cooler than your normal educational process, right? So that looks kind of cool. Let's see, what else did we want to get into? Chris is saying, at Victor Burgos, games, the demo was amazing, maybe too amazing. It got many people's expectations really high for the full game. Yeah, that's true. I mean, see, everybody that played the demo, they loved it. You know, everybody that played the demo loved Contagion VR. But how many of those people, well, we know that, you know, 6,000 people have picked it up. But yeah, marketing is a very big deal. We're talking a little bit about the marketing of it here. So let's see, what did I want to bring up again though? Hold on, let me see if I can grab another trailer. There's one other thing I wanted to mention before I bounced out of here. What is this called? Okay, hold on. Sorry for the silence. Trying to find, where is the trailer? One sec. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this trailer is not going to work in, this is going to be kind of screwed up. But I wanted to mention one other thing that I tried yesterday was Amaze 3D, and this is on my Oculus Go. Okay, and has anybody tried this? It's called Redway Manor. And basically what it is, it's choose your own adventure. Let me see if I can find like a website for it or something. It's called Redway Manor, and it's basically like this TV thing. Can't really find like our website for it. But it's kind of like this interactive, it's like a little interactive story that you're playing. A choose your own adventure thing, and there's a lot of this stuff that is available on the Oculus Go, and I think it's kind of interesting. So this story is about these people. They're working for some really high-end tech company where they're like implanting something in your actual brain that will augment your outside reality. So it's kind of like what Elon Musk is supposedly working on, basically turning you into some kind of cyborg where you will have Google and all this stuff that's like built into your brain, and you'll be able to augment regular reality, and then something goes wrong, and there's like some murder or something is going wrong here, and things are flickering in and out, and it's really weird, man. And so the acting is not very good. That's the problem here. The acting, like anybody that has tried this, the acting is pretty bad. But see, I'm somebody that I played all these Sega CD games way back in the day. I played Night Trap. I played Sewer Shark. I played Double Switch, Ground Zero Texas. There were all these different full motion video games. Night Trap, where you're kind of doing almost like a choose your own adventure thing, and it's using full motion video. It's using real actors. Well, that's kind of what they're doing on Amaze 3D. These are actually like games. Like, dudes, I think if you guys have an Oculus Go, Tomcat Alley, there's Main Fan helping me out with some old full motion video games. But what I'm talking about here is, if you guys have an Oculus Go, go into Amaze 3D and try some of these like interactive murder mystery things that are going on, dating simulators. They got a lot of weird stuff, but I honestly believe that the future of storytelling is going to be highly interactive and much more interesting. And I think if you guys tried this, it's called Redway Manor. And I believe you can try a lot of the episodes for free right now. Like if you go on Ground Zero Texas, I did mention that, Main Fan. That's one of my absolute favorite full motion video games. But there was this thing called the Sega CD way back in the early 90s, and full motion video was going to be a thing. And Redway Manor is kind of like, full motion video has made a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. It literally has made a comeback. And there's all these like emulators, or basically it's like dating simulators, and then these different little TV shows that they're kind of making that's kind of like interactive. Like if I go to this little web browser here, I'm trying to find pictures of Redway Manor where I could just get some basic pictures of it, but we better get off of that. It's going to be not safe for work pretty soon here. But it's just really cool. Oh, James Davis 911 says, I have a Sega CD still. But yeah, you guys, anybody that has Oculus Go, or if you can try Amaze 3D on your Vive or your Rift or whatever, I don't know what it's all available on, but try some of these choose your own adventures. If you ever liked it, those old choose your own adventure books, that's kind of what you're getting out of some of this stuff. And they record different video clips, different things happen, and you can basically make the wrong choice and then you failed and it's like game over. And the acting is absolute garbage, but the clarity of everything, everybody looks really 3D. They look like they're really there. Really good clarity. And I think there's going to be some really good stuff that comes out of this, but I think we need good acting. We need good directing. We're so far away from that, but still, I do believe you guys should try this stuff out. I Am Rhett says it's available on both the Oculus Store and Steam. Yeah, one of the things I need to do is I need to try to see if I can do all this Amaze 3D stuff in my regular Oculus Rift and see, does everything kind of look the same? I mean, I know the Oculus Go does have the better optics and stuff, but does everything else work the same? Because some of this stuff, they're not calling it a game, but it's really like a choose your own adventure thing. Like, I think this is flying way under the radar. Nobody's talking anything about this. Chris, did you talk about Oculus Connect 5 only be able to watch in VR on a mobile headset, not Rift? Yes, I did hear about that. And luckily I've got an Oculus Go, because I used to be the type of person that would cry foul about these things, but I think I'll be able to watch it with my Oculus Go. I'm going to switch over here to Upload VR real quick just to go through a couple of the news stories that they're talking about. Mario Kart VR coming to Washington, D.C. I guess arcades in the Washington, D.C. area. They're having a little giveaway for a free copy of Zone of the Enders. Infinity Film Festival will feature VR and AR. That's coming up in early November. Creed's going to have that multiplayer PvP mode right at launch, so that's pretty cool. Creed next Tuesday, by the way. Walmart is picking up 17,000 Oculus Go's for training. They're talking a little bit about this Pixar. They got a little bit of review of Downward Spiral. Palmer Lucky says Facebook buying the Rift is the best thing that ever happened to VR. And it's probably true simply from a timeline standpoint. Facebook buying Oculus probably sped up the entire VR thing by 3 or 4 years ahead of what would happen naturally otherwise. And here it is. Oculus Connect 5 will live stream in VR, but not on the Rift. I do believe you'll be able to stream it on the Go. So I do believe those of us that have a Go, we will be able to connect. We will be able to check out Oculus Connect 5, which is next Wednesday. This is next Wednesday, folks. I kind of wanted to drive down there and go to Oculus Connect 5, but I didn't want to pony up 300 bones to do it. And then this other cool thing is that Oculus is patenting this fabric wrap for the Santa Cruz. So kind of for the Santa Cruz's design, it's going to have a nice little fabric wrap. But yeah, all of this is on Upload VR. So much love to Upload VR. Go ahead, check them out, all that type of stuff. Let's see what folks are talking about in chat about all of this. So Chris says, did you talk about Oculus Connect 5? Yeah, so if you have an Oculus Go, you can watch it in your Go. Hopefully that will work. Victor says he's going to be at Oculus Connect 5. That'll be nice. Victor, you might get some hands-on time with the Santa Cruz and find out the name of the Santa Cruz and all of that. Let's see. And Chris says, why is it still so hard to watch 180, 360 on Rift and Vive? It's a pain in the ass. Well, the one thing they absolutely need to figure out, and this is especially with all the porn stuff, everybody needs to figure out, they need to figure out a standard version of 180 video, a standard version of 360 video. And if you're trying to watch one of those videos on a Rift, a Vive, a Go, PSVR, whatever it is, it just needs to play and it needs to be formatted right. You shouldn't have to go into all kinds of different settings and try to screw with everything to get things to work right. We really need to figure all of that out. Andy Sky says, anybody buying Santa Cruz? We're all interested in Santa Cruz. We just want to know the price and the availability. My prediction, $599 US. My prediction, late March 2019. We'll have to see what happens with that. Victor Burgos says he hopes to get Santa Cruz for free. Well, you might get sent one as a developer. Monochrome Inc. might get one, I would think. And Paradise Decay says custom skins for Santa Cruz confirmed. John Edwards, my company is developing for Santa Cruz. Like what I've seen, but he hasn't had much time with it yet. And Main Fan says, I think the issue with video is distance between the two camera lenses. We need to figure out some kind of way to dial it all in. Anyway, guys, I've been going for a while. I got to get out of here. It's been about an hour. We did cover a lot of interesting trailers today. We did have Victor Burgos joining us in chat, which that was a nice treat, the developer of Contagion VR Outbreak. And you know what? I will try to get my hands on some more Transference, hopefully be able to finish that game up later today. But definitely one last thing, all of you guys with your PlayStation VRs, absolutely, man, download the free beta, Honor and Duty D-Day. Download the free beta, use your aim controller. It works pretty good. Get into the multiplayer. It's fun. There's a lot of kids, but it's still pretty fun. So I would definitely try that out. But definitely, everybody go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the channel, check out the website, all those good things. And I will be back, of course, tomorrow is Friday, and I will be back at 11 a.m. on Friday. See you guys then. Take it easy. Later.